Hello, day 20. During these days, I cannot say that there were any shocking news which could drastically change the situation, only the stuff which we already got used to, like many more losses. Some wins also we have today, quite a lot of aviation of Russia was destroyed by our army, but still I mean that overall situation is quite the same. Some experts and analytics, not only the ones from Ukraine, they state that the situation is now having a kind of fork. So there are two possible ways how they predict everything to go on further. And the first way is that because Russia has very much losses here and they're losing their potential, there could be a situation that maybe on the nearest negotiations between Ukraine and Russia, maybe they will meet an agreement, and this will mean that war could end in a week or two. Of course, I think that it doesn't mean that it will stop forever and globally. I think that it means that it will stop in this very bloody, this full-scale uncovered manifestation. So maybe they will take away their troops, but I don't think that it will end absolutely while Putin is alive. I think that while he is alive, he will do his best in order to use the methods of hybrid war and destabilize the situation in Ukraine in different ways. So this is like the most optimist prediction. The second way of this fork is that Russia is now begging for military help from all over the world. They ask for soldiers, they ask for weapons, and what is the funniest is that they even ask for food provision for their soldiers. Maybe you don't know this situation, but Russian soldiers came to our land with very old food supplies. Our soldiers found lots of their food which due date expired in 2015. It expired in 2015 and Russia was going to feed their soldiers with this old food, like 7 years. But there were also some examples when the soldiers had food which due date expired in 2005. Guys, could you imagine that? Expiration date 2005, 17 years ago. A very eloquent story on how Putin treats his own people, yeah? So Putin now begs for any kind of supplies which would help him to continue this invasion. Luckily, it looks like China is going to refuse with help because probably only China could make a big contribution. But they're told not to be the ones who are going to be on the side of losers, and I hope they are still still the same in their principles. So the only help they can get is maybe Syria, some African countries. So maybe they will find a dozen of thousands of new soldiers, and this will mean that their invasion their active invasion can last for a month or two more. These are quite optimistic predictions. Of course, they don't take into account worst case scenarios like using nuclear weapon or any other total madnesses of Putin, but it's already madness. Okay. Still, it sounds nice that this can end in a week. But just imagine how many more losses that will mean. Even a week. If we're talking about 2 months, it multiplies these losses in many, many times. How many more lives will be taken? How many more cities will be destroyed? How much money it will cost for Ukraine to renovate everything. And while our country will be renovated, just imagine all lives of Ukrainians who are alive, they will be stopped. It's like you're going somewhere into your past. It's not the past, I mean that it's a kind of a rollback, that our lives will be put on a pause, and I guess that universe won't give us a gift and compensate all these years while our life will be stopped. And we're talking just about very good scenarios. But there could be worse too. A few days ago, Chapati's very good friend has died. He used to be our neighbor, and during our evening dog walks, Chapati and Tom had lots of amazing time together playing. Tom, his name was Tom, was a huge, furry, black Newfoundland dog. Very playful, very positive, always behaving like a gentleman with Chapati. But this stupid war took his life too. Today I've contacted a graphic designer, a very talented girl who helped us quite a lot of times, made graphics for different projects. Just her story. Her father and grandfather are situated in Mariupol, one of those cities which are isolated as for now, and she couldn't reach them for already 9 days. She just doesn't know if her dad and her grandfather are still alive. She cannot know that because Russians don't want to make these green corridors in order people to evacuate. The second part of her story is that during these days she lost 90% of her income because, as you might understand, graphics is not an essential thing for people who face war. And it's just one of millions of stories, because actually this war, it affects every life in Ukraine. I will try to gradually tell you even more real stories of real people in each of our new videos. And speaking about how this war has affected us personally, I also guess that this might be a separate video, maybe even a stream, because it's impossible to tell that in just a few words. It changed our lives drastically. Of course, we lost all of our income because we're marketologists, and same stuff. It's not a profession which is that much important during these days. By the way, we also, when we evacuated from our apartment, we left everything there. So we had to collect our stuff in just an hour. It was very quickly. We didn't have time to think about everything. So we left there everything, all our previous life, all our memories. Still don't know if our home is safe or it is already bombed. By the way, we also left all our photo and video gear there. So we could make better videos if we had that with us, but unfortunately we had time only to think about taking our phones with us and laptops. That's all. The rest is left there. And again, our video is getting too long, so I guess it's bye-bye for today. And I hope to share news with you tomorrow, and I hope and I dream that tomorrow we'll have some better news. Bye-bye from Chapati.